Hello there guys, what is going on? SonOfChelsea back here again for my team selector and preview ahead of the game tomorrow night against Barnsley at Oakwell in the FA Cup 5th round. Chelsea's best chance of silverware this season. I think I've said that in every preview so far, but given the draws we've had, we've been quite lucky. Of course, there is that history of Barnsley in the FA Cup. We were knocked out at Oakwell in 2008 under Avram Grant, that 1-0 shock defeat. Hopefully, the same thing doesn't happen tomorrow night and Chelsea can get through to the last eight. Once you're through to the last eight, you can't really complain about difficult draws because there are some really good teams still in the competition. I expect Man City to beat Swansea. I expect Leicester to get through. Man United are already through. So it's going to be a difficult draw. I think whoever we face are really, unless we're really, really lucky and can pick out someone like Bournemouth. But we know we've struggled against Bournemouth in the past in the Premier League. But for me, not only the fact of getting into the last eight once again in the FA Cup, but for Tuchel, I feel this is the chance for him to see the rest of his current squad. He's seen a lot of players so far. He's brought in players who haven't had many minutes this season. But this is sort of the rest of the players I think will feature tomorrow night. I mean, Tuchel said as much in his pre-match press conference where he was speaking about maybe several changes. I expect 7 to 8 changes from the team that started against Sheffield United on Sunday in that 2-1 win. I'm looking at Kurt Zouma, Kepa Arrizabalaga, Emerson, Billy Gilmour, N'Golo Kante, Hakim, Ziyech, potentially Kai Havertz, Christian Pulisic, Tammy Abraham. Those sort of players I feel have a great opportunity to impress their new boss tomorrow night at Oakwell in the FA Cup 5th round. But the team news is Thiago Silva is absolutely still out as expected, still recovering, and even if he was fit, this is a game you'd rest him for. But gonna have to wait and see how long he'll be out for. I mean, he could even miss the Atletico Madrid first leg tie. That's how serious this thigh injury is, and I spoke about it in depth on Monday's episode of Let's Talk Chelsea, so go and check that out to see how long he'll be out for. It's a big miss for Chelsea, but it's on those centre-backs, as I've said before, to step up and take his place and earn their opportunity under Tuchel. And another player that does have a question mark over his head for tomorrow night is Kai Havertz. Via Carefree Youth on Twitter, he wasn't pictured training yesterday. He has missed the previous 2 games. Spurs and Sheffield United, wasn't in the squad for Sheffield United. We'll have to wait and see on that one because he hasn't trained recently. I guess maybe he could be missing tomorrow night. It'd be such a shame because, of course, sort of the scourge of Barnsley in that 3rd round League Cup tie earlier in the season. But just for him personally, not playing a lot of football recently, having those injury problems, trying to get some more confidence back on the pitch, this is a perfect opportunity to get a guaranteed start and try and get himself into that Premier League team under Tuchel. But he may be missing tomorrow night, which would be a great shame, but we'll have to wait and see when team news drops tomorrow night. But let's take a look at the opposition in Barnsley, 13th in the Championship, coached by Valérien Ismaël. Valérien Ismaël coached against Thomas Tuchel for Wolfsburg when he coached there in the Bundesliga in 2017. Top goal scorer, Cauley Woodrow, and drawn 2 of their last 5 games, but have done really well to get to this stage of the competition. As I mentioned before, that 2008 defeat to Barnsley in the FA Cup 6th round then, so the quarter-final stage. As well, in comparison with Ismaël and Tuchel, they both like the 3-back system, so we could see a matchup of formations here in this game if Chelsea and Tuchel decide to stick to that 3-back system or maybe switch it up for tomorrow night. But as I mentioned before, this is a chance for Tuchel to see the rest of his squad. We have a really strong squad, so this is where you want to rotate it. And there are some players that I don't think you would have expected even a few weeks back to be featuring in this game and be sort of looking at this game for an opportunity to get some minutes, because the radical change with Thomas Tuchel coming in, players out in the cold coming into the Premier League team, getting opportunities, now sort of the pecking order in several positions sort of being thrown up in the air. It's really hard to tell at the moment who's sort of first choice and who's sort of second and third choice, and that's sort of changing the mentality, the players sort of having to take their opportunities now, and players who were guaranteed starters say a month back now have to prove themselves under a new manager with a clean slate, so we'll have to see that. But getting into my predicted lineup, Thomas Tuchel confirmed in his pre-match press conference that there will be starts for N'Golo Kante and Hakim Ziyech, so I put them both in my predicted lineups. Obviously, being goal Edouard Mendy, listen, I fully expect Kepa Arrizabalaga to start this game, given he started the last round, and maybe once again Tuchel would like to see Kepa in goal for the first time, but I just think it's too much of a risk, and I feel given his mistakes in the past, I'd rather have Edouard Mendy. I feel this is a big game for Chelsea, getting through to the next round, getting into the last 8. Tuchel said as much. He really cares about this game. He clearly wants to win titles at Chelsea. He knows he needs to win titles at Chelsea, and the FA Cup is a great chance to end the season on a big high. And as you've noticed with my lineup, we've changed formations from the 3-back system to the 4-2-3-1. I feel this is the best opportunity to go back to that 4-back system. I'm not sure in terms of going to the Newcastle game whether he'll just revert back to the players he's used before. But I feel for this game against Championship opposition Chelsea, trying to assert themselves with some creative players on the pitch, try and create more opportunities, try and score more goals, I'd rather go for the 4-2-3-1. Dave, Christensen, Zouma, Emerson. So Zouma and Emerson hopefully making their first starts for Thomas Tuchel. And you're thinking about a complexion change for someone like Kurt Zouma. I don't think there's a more radical one in this squad currently, of going from sort of guaranteed first starter at least for most of the season under Frank Lampard to barely playing any minutes in the past few weeks. So hopefully he can take his opportunity, and I also think his threat from corners and just aerially, I think we need Kurt Zouma back in this team, and hopefully he can get back to good form, impress Tuchel, and get back in that Premier League starting 11. Then we go into the double six. N'Golo Kante guaranteed to start, his first start under Thomas Tuchel, and Billy Gilmour, once again another complexion change. He was man of the match against Luton in the last round, had a really good game, looked masterful in the middle of the park, spraying passes left and right, that bravery, that maturity and elegance we like to see on the ball. The FA Cup provides him with the best opportunity to play at the moment. We'll have to see if that translates to the Premier League, if he can get some starts there, but it's difficult with Jorginho and Kovacic in form for Thomas Tuchel so far. And you can see the three behind the striker, Hakim Ziyech. I'm going to make a video on Ziyech in terms of his comments in that very revealing interview he did recently regarding Lampard's departure, Tuchel coming in, his injury issues, and sort of getting back to his best and sort of adapting to the Premier League. Very revealing quotes, and I know some of you guys are quite intrigued to see how Ziyech fits in. He started the first game for Tuchel against Wolves, but as Tuchel said himself, you know, that was sort of a very difficult lineup for him to pick, so he went with more experienced older players. But since then, Ziyech hasn't featured, so we know he's going to start tomorrow. It's about him taking that opportunity and seeing how he fits in this team. I want to explain and delve into that a bit more in Ziyech's role potentially for Tuchel in that Let's Talk Chelsea, so stay tuned for that. But also in this game, hopefully he can thrive once again and make an impression. Havertz at the number 10 role, I'm not sure about his fitness, but we'll have to wait and see. If he does start, of course, had a really great time against them back in September. Christian Pulisic didn't feature on Sunday because of family issues, but he's back training now, so hopefully we'll start this time on the left. Obviously Tuchel has played him on the right so far and has sort of shifted his position. I think I'd prefer him on the left because that's where he succeeded at Chelsea, but another great opportunity for him to impress and potentially get back on the score sheet and get back to the form we saw last season. And Tammy Abraham scored last time against Barnsley and scored a hat-trick in the last round, so has good form in the FA Cup this season, and I think deserves a start under Thomas Tuchel in this game. But that is my predicted lineup for the game tomorrow night. Let me know yours in the comments below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Your thoughts about the game, let me know in the comments below. Also, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the uploads on this channel. Nearly at 20k subs. Thank you guys so much, because we're nearly at such an incredible landmark to start 2021. Hit that like button too. Follow me on Twitter at SonOfChelsea, and I'll see you again.